Every woman carries within her a fire that the world cannot put out. A fire born of pain, of challenges, of those silent battles fought when no one was watching. She who rises, rises not because life was easy, but because she decided to master her mind, her spirit, and her destiny. Napoleon Hill once said, "Strength and growth come only through continuous effort and struggle." And today, we dive into how every struggle you've faced is not a wall to stop you, but a stepping stone to lift you. The question is not whether you will face storms, but whether you will use the storm to sharpen your wings. So, let us break down the 10 master keys to transforming your struggles into the strength that defines a powerful woman. 1. The power of defiance. When fear says, "You're not ready," defiance answers, "I'll try anyway." When doubt knocks on the door, defiance locks it and walks toward opportunity. Defiance is the art of using rejection as redirection. When someone shuts a door in your face, you don't cry outside. You knock on the next one. If they all remain shut, you build your own door. And if that's not enough, you build the entire house. But here's the secret: defiance is not loud. It doesn't always need to scream. Sometimes it's quiet, steady, and unshakable. It's waking up at 5 a.m. when no one believes in you. It's working on your dream after everyone else has gone to bed. It's smiling through pain, walking through storms, and whispering to yourself, "This is not where my story ends." Defiance is strength disguised as stubbornness. It's resilience wrapped in courage. And it is the starting point of every woman who decides not to be defined by her struggles, but to be refined by them. 2. Turning wounds into wisdom. Every wound tells a story. Some stories are heavy with silence, some are written in tears, and some are etched in scars that the world cannot see. But here is the truth: your wounds are not proof of weakness. They are proof that you endured. And if you choose, those very wounds can become the richest source of wisdom you will ever carry. Think back to your hardest moments. The nights you felt broken. The times you trusted and were betrayed. The days when life seemed unfair, cruel, or unbearable. Those moments didn't just happen to hurt you. They happened to shape you. They happened to carve lessons into your soul that no book, no lecture, no classroom could ever teach. Pain is a teacher. And unlike any other teacher, pain doesn't whisper gently, it demands your attention. It teaches you about patience when everything takes longer than expected. It teaches you about resilience when you're forced to start over. It teaches you about compassion when you see someone else walking through the same storm you survived. The secret is in the choice. Will you let wounds remain as pain, or will you transform them into power? Wisdom is born when you refuse to let your scars define you. When you say, "Yes, I was hurt, but I am not staying hurt. Yes, I was broken, but I am not staying broken. I will rise stronger because I now understand more." Turning wounds into wisdom is like alchemy. It's the process of turning what was once heavy, dark, and painful into light that guides you forward. The betrayal that made you cry now makes you wiser about trust. The rejection that stung now makes you fearless in seeking new opportunities. The failure that embarrassed you now makes you humble, determined, and unstoppable. And here's the beauty: wisdom gained through wounds can never be taken away. Money can be lost, beauty can fade, opportunities may come and go, but the lessons carved into your soul remain forever. The woman who turns her wounds into wisdom becomes unshakable, because when she faces a new storm, she no longer fears it. She remembers what she has already survived. Her past doesn't chain her, it teaches her. Her scars don't weaken her, they remind her of her strength. 3. The discipline of desire. Desire is the beginning of all achievement. Napoleon Hill himself wrote that. The starting point of all achievement is desire. But here is the hidden truth: desire alone is not enough. Everyone desires. Everyone wants success, freedom, happiness, health, and love. But not everyone is willing to discipline their desire, to turn it from a passing wish into a living reality. Desire without discipline is like fire without direction. It burns, but it doesn't build. Discipline is the container that gives desire shape. It is the structure that transforms raw energy into lasting creation. Think about it. Anyone can say, "I want to be successful." But success is not given to the one who wants. It is earned by the one who acts daily, consistently, even when it hurts, even when it's boring, even when no one is clapping. That is discipline. Discipline of desire means waking up when your body says, "Stay in bed." It means studying when your mind says, "Scroll your phone." It means saving when your heart says, "Spend." It means continuing when the world says, "Quit." The woman who disciplines her desire does not just dream. She plans, she executes, she follows through. She understands that success is not a single event, but a habit built day by day. Desire gives the spark, but discipline keeps the flame alive long after motivation fades. And here is where the magic happens. Discipline transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. The athlete doesn't reach greatness by desire alone. She disciplines her body with training, diet, and practice. The writer doesn't finish her book by desire alone. She disciplines herself to write every day, even when the words are heavy. The entrepreneur doesn't build an empire by desire alone. She disciplines her time, her energy, her resources. Desire is the vision, discipline is the vehicle. Without both, the journey never begins. There is joy in this discipline too, because every time you say no to distraction, you are saying yes to your destiny. Every small act of discipline is a brick placed on the road toward your dream. And one day, when you look back, you will see that the road was not built by desire alone. It was paved by discipline. For the fun in failing forward, failure. A word that makes most people tremble, hide, or quit. But here's the truth. Failure is not your enemy. Failure is your coach. Failure is your mirror. Failure is the price of admission to the arena of success. Think about every great inventor, every leader, every woman or man who changed the world. They did not walk on a smooth path paved with applause. They stumbled, they fell, they broke, they doubted. But what set them apart was not avoiding failure. It was learning how to fail forward. Failing forward means you don't just fall. You fall in the direction of your dream. You don't just get rejected. You get redirected. You don't just make mistakes. You make discoveries. Each failure is not a stop sign. It's a road sign pointing you closer to where you're meant to be. Here's the fun part. When you stop fearing failure, you start playing with it. You begin to experiment. You test. You try. You laugh at your mistakes instead of crying over them. Every failure becomes proof that you are alive, that you are brave enough to act while others only talk. Imagine a child learning to walk. She falls again and again, but no one tells her, stop trying, you failed. No, every fall is celebrated because it means she's closer to standing. So why, as adults, do we shame ourselves for falling? Why do we treat failure as final, when in reality, it is only feedback? Failure shows you what doesn't work, so you can discover what does. Failure toughens your skin, sharpens your mind, and strengthens your heart. Each no you hear in life is not rejection, it's redirection. Each mistake is not a dead end, it's a stepping stone. And when you learn to enjoy failing forward, you unlock a power most people never touch, the freedom to try without fear. You stop living for perfection and start living for progress. You stop waiting for the perfect moment and start creating imperfect attempts that move you closer to greatness. So laugh at your failures. Collect them like trophies. Tell stories about them, because each one proves you were in the game while others were sitting safely on the sidelines. Remember, the woman who fails forward is always ahead of the one who never tries. 5. The courage of self-belief. There is no power greater than believing in yourself when no one else does. Self-belief is not arrogance, it is courage. It is the courage to look at the mirror and say, I am enough. I can do this. I will do this. Even when the world shakes its head, even when critics laugh, even when your own mind whispers doubt. Self-belief is the voice that says, try anyway. The truth is, most people don't fail because they lacked talent. They don't fail because they lacked opportunity. They fail because they lacked the courage to believe in themselves long enough to finish what they started. Without self-belief, every obstacle looks like a wall. With self-belief, every wall looks like a challenge to climb. Believing in yourself does not mean you will never feel fear. It means you move forward despite the fear. It means you trust that even if you stumble, even if you don't have all the answers, you will figure it out along the way. That is courage, acting in the face of uncertainty. Think about it. Every invention, every breakthrough, every work of art, every empire started with one person who believed in an idea that no one else could see. The light bulb was once just an idea in Edison's mind. Airplanes were once considered impossible. Women voting was once considered unthinkable. Every revolution began with someone who had the courage to believe in what others doubted. And here is the secret. Self-belief grows the more you practice it. It is a muscle. The first time you stand up for yourself, it feels shaky. The first time you chase a dream, it feels terrifying. But every time you silence that inner critic, every time you take one more step, your belief grows stronger. Self-belief is contagious too. When a woman believes in herself, she gives permission for others to do the same. Her confidence lights a path for those still hiding in their doubts. She becomes living proof that courage is possible. But here's the challenge: self-belief requires you to stand tall even when applause is absent. You must clap for yourself before anyone else does. You must write your own approval before the world signs it. Because the truth is, if you do not believe in your own worth, no one else will. The courage of self-belief is not about being certain. It is about being willing to try, willing to risk, willing to rise again and again, no matter how many times you fall. 6. The network of energy is invisible, but it is contagious. You can feel it the moment you walk into a room. Some people light you up, and some people drain you dry. This is why building your network of energy is one of the most powerful decisions you will ever make. Every woman who rises understands this truth. You cannot fly if you are chained to people who love the ground. If your circle constantly doubts, complains, or criticizes, their energy will weigh you down like stones tied to your wings. But if your circle believes, encourages, and inspires, their energy will push you higher than you thought possible. Think of it like this: you are a battery. Every interaction either charges you or drains you. The conversations you have, the company you keep, the voices you allow into your mind, all of it shapes the strength of your energy. And your energy shapes your destiny. This is why you must protect your space. Protect it like treasure, because it is. The wrong voices can turn your spark into smoke. The right voices can turn your spark into fire. Surround yourself with people who remind you of your strength, not your scars. People who clap when you win, not gossip when you fall. People who challenge you to grow, not pressure you to shrink. Energy like that is priceless. It lifts you in moments when your own belief feels weak. And here's the secret: your network of energy isn't only about others, it's about you too. Ask yourself, what kind of energy do you bring into the room? Are you a light or are you a shadow? Are you the one who encourages, uplifts, and motivates? Or the one who criticizes, doubts, and drains? The energy you give is the energy that will circle back to you. Think of great teams, great movements, great revolutions. They were never built by one person alone. They were fueled by a network of aligned energy. People carrying the same fire in different ways. One vision, many voices, but the same powerful frequency. So choose wisely. Who speaks into your ears? Who speaks into your heart? Who speaks into your dreams? Because your future will look a lot like the energy of those closest to you. 7. The joy of small victories. In a world obsessed with grand achievements, people forget the power of small victories. We celebrate the marathon runner crossing the finish line. But we rarely celebrate the first step she took months before, when she laced up her shoes and ran around the block. We admire the woman standing on the stage with success, but we overlook the countless days she fought doubt just to keep moving forward. Small victories are the bricks that build the empire of greatness. They are the tiny, daily wins that, when stacked together, create unstoppable momentum. Getting out of bed when your heart feels heavy, that's a victory. Choosing to work on your dream instead of wasting another evening, that's a victory. Saying no to distractions that steal your focus, that's a victory. The danger is in dismissing these wins because they seem too small. But here's the truth: small victories compound. Just like a drop of water may seem meaningless, but drop after drop, it carves through stone. Progress, no matter how small, is still progress. And when you train yourself to celebrate every step, you fuel your journey with joy. Joy is the secret ingredient. Without joy, discipline feels like a burden. Without joy, the journey feels too long. But when you find joy in each small victory, your spirit stays alive, your energy stays high, and your mind stays focused. You begin to smile not only at the destination, but at the process of getting there. Think about it: the mountain climber celebrates reaching the peak, yes, but she also celebrates every checkpoint along the way. Each camp, each higher ground, each breath taken above the last. Because without those small victories, the summit is impossible. And here's the magic: when you celebrate small victories, you rewire your mind to expect success. You teach yourself to see progress instead of lack. You stop waiting for one big break, and instead recognize that greatness is built in quiet, ordinary days. So clap for yourself when you take a step. Reward yourself for progress, not perfection. Smile at your effort, not just your outcome. Because small victories are not small at all. They are the proof that you are moving, growing, rising. 8. The alchemy of gratitude. Gratitude is not just a polite thank you. Gratitude is alchemy, the invisible force that transforms what you have into more than enough. It takes the little and makes it abundant. It takes the ordinary and makes it extraordinary. It takes pain and turns it into wisdom. loss and turns it into appreciation, challenges and turns them into growth. Most people wait for big achievements before they feel grateful. They wait for the dream job, the perfect relationship, the big house, or the recognition before they allow themselves to say, "I am thankful." But here is the truth: gratitude is not about waiting for more. It is about seeing the gift in what already is. When you wake up and breathe, that is a gift. When you have food to eat, that is a gift. When you have a mind that can dream, a body that can move, a heart that can love, those are gifts beyond measure. Gratitude opens your eyes to the treasures you already carry, treasures that many overlook in the pursuit of more. But gratitude does more than make you feel good. It shifts your energy. When you are grateful, you are not operating from lack, you are operating from abundance. And abundance attracts abundance. The more you notice what you have, the more life multiplies it. The more you complain about what you don't have, the more life hides its blessings. Gratitude is a practice. It is not automatic, it is intentional. It means stopping in the middle of your busy day and asking, "What can I appreciate right now?" It means turning frustration into reflection, asking, "What lesson is hidden in this challenge?" It means shifting focus from what's missing to what's present. Even in the hardest seasons, gratitude works its alchemy. When you are struggling, gratitude reminds you that you still have strength. When you lose something, gratitude reminds you of what remains. When life feels unfair, gratitude whispers that even in darkness, there is light. And here's the magic: a gratitude grows resilience. A grateful heart cannot be easily broken. Because while pain may touch it, gratitude shields it with perspective. Gratitude gives you reasons to rise, reasons to smile, reasons to keep going, even when the road feels heavy. Gratitude turns survival into celebration. It turns waiting into preparation. It turns the ordinary into a miracle. That is why the most powerful women, the strongest leaders, the happiest souls all carry gratitude as their daily armor. 9. The fire of persistence. Persistence is the quiet fire that separates dreamers from doers, starters from finishers, and wishers from achievers. Talent may open a door, luck may give you a chance, but only persistence keeps you walking when the road stretches long and steep. Think of persistence as the heartbeat of success. Without it, every dream dies halfway. With it, even the impossible becomes possible. The truth is, most people give up not because their dream was unreachable, but because they quit too soon. They stop at the first failure, the first rejection, the first setback, forgetting that persistence is what turns trials into triumphs. Persistence is not glamorous. It does not always roar. Sometimes it looks like waking up one more time after a sleepless night. Sometimes it looks like showing up for work when no one is clapping. Sometimes it looks like continuing to try even when the results are invisible. That is persistence, the daily decision to keep going no matter what. And here's the beauty: persistence compounds. Every small effort adds to the last. Every attempt stacks upon the previous. What seems invisible today becomes unstoppable tomorrow. Like water dripping on stone, persistence carves paths where strength alone could not. The woman who persists understands that pressure creates diamonds. Coal cannot sparkle until it endures heat and time. The oak tree cannot stand tall until its roots push through the hardest soil. Likewise, no greatness is born without the fire of persistence. Rejections. They are not endings, they are redirections. Setbacks. They are not failures, they are training grounds. Obstacles. They are not walls, they are weights to strengthen your resolve. Every no you face is simply testing how badly you want your wise. Persistence is not stubbornness, it is faith in motion. It is believing that your vision is worth the effort, no matter how long it takes. Because sometimes the difference between failure and success is simply one more try, one more step, one more day of not giving up. And here is the secret: persistence outlasts talent, it outlasts luck, it outlasts timing. The world does not always belong to the fastest, the smartest, or the strongest. It belongs to the ones who refuse to quit. 10. The mastery of mindset. Your mind is the battlefield where every victory and every defeat is first decided. Before you succeed in life, you must succeed in thought. Before you rise in action, you must rise in belief. The mastery of mindset is the greatest power you can ever claim. Because once you master your mind, you master your world. Every thought plants a seed. Some seeds grow into courage, others into fear. Some seeds grow into confidence, others into doubt. The question is not whether your mind will grow something. The question is, what are you planting? A woman who feeds her mind with strength, with focus, with vision, cannot be easily broken. But a woman who feeds her mind with negativity, comparison, and fear will live in chains of her own making. Mindset is the lens through which you see life. Two people can face the same storm. One sees disaster, the other sees opportunity. The difference is not in the storm, but in the mindset. One complains, the other learns. One quits, the other adapts. One sees the end, the other sees the beginning. To master your mindset is to take control of that lens. It is to say, I will not be ruled by fear. I will not be ruled by doubt. I will not be ruled by the voices that say I cannot. Instead, you choose focus, resilience, and faith. This mastery is not automatic. It takes discipline. It takes training. Just as the body grows strong through exercise, the mind grows strong through practice. You must catch negative thoughts and replace them with empowering ones. You must guard your mind the way a warrior guards her sword, because without it, the battle is already lost. Mastery of mindset means you stop waiting for circumstances to change before you feel strong. You decide to feel strong now. You stop waiting for everything to be perfect before you act. You act, and perfection follows effort. You stop being a victim of external noise and start being the author of your internal voice. And here's the truth: once your mind believes, your life begins to align. Opportunities appear where you once saw none. Strength rises where you once felt weak. Hope glows where you once saw darkness. Because your outer world is nothing but a reflection of your inner world. The woman who masters her mindset becomes unstoppable. Not because life becomes easier, but because her perspective becomes stronger. She knows storms will come, but she also knows her thoughts will decide whether she sinks or sails. So remember this: every struggle you face is not a punishment. It is preparation. Every obstacle is not here to break you. It is here to build you. Within you lives the power of defiance, the wisdom of your wounds, the discipline of your desire, the courage to fail forward, the unshakable belief in yourself, the energy of your circle, the joy of small victories, the alchemy of gratitude, the fire of persistence, and the mastery of mindset. She who rises is not the one who never falls. She who rises is the one who falls again and again, but refuses to stay down. And when you rise, when you take all that life tried to use against you and turn it into strength, you do not only rise for yourself. You rise for every woman watching. You rise for every dream waiting. You rise for the world that needs your light. Because in the end, true power does not come from avoiding the storm. True power comes from learning to dance in the rain, to fly in the wind, and to walk through fire without losing your flame. She who rises becomes unstoppable.